It began with a letter, no fanfare, no flashing cameras, just a few lines of ink on embossed royal stationery. Prince Harry's signature at the bottom carried more hope than any speech he had ever given. His request was simple on paper: permission to attend the King's Foundation Gala at St. James's Palace. Behind the simplicity, though, lay a silent prayer that one night on the royal calendar might open a door he feared was already locked. For a week, he checked his email as if it were a lifeline. He imagined the envelope sliding back across a polished desk bearing the words "Invitation confirmed." Instead, the palace answered with something sharper than a public rebuke: silence. No phone call, no politely worded regret, not even the digital courtesy of a "we'll keep you in mind." A non-reply can speak louder than the grandest proclamation. And this one roared. If digging royal drama intrigues you, hit subscribe now, because the deeper we go, the stranger it gets. Every spring, the King's Foundation Gala sweeps through London like a royal comet. Diplomats, tech billionaires, and Oscar-winning activists jostle for a seat beneath the gilt ceilings. Cameras click, the monarchy flexes its soft power under the banner of global philanthropy. For Harry, this wasn't just an event, it was a stage lit bright enough to burn away the shadows of the past 5 years. One handshake with the world's fixers, one photograph beside his father, and the public might start seeing him as Prince Harry again instead of royal runaway. The timing was ripe. Tabloids buzzed about King Charles's quiet health rebound. Buckingham courtiers whispered that the new reign needed an infusion of optimism. Harry believed he could supply it. All he needed was a chair at the table. The answer arrived faster than postage could travel, and it was definitive. A senior aide shared the verdict in one clipped sentence: His Majesty regrets he will not be extending an invitation. No alternate date. No suggestion of a later appearance. 0. The aide's tone, Harry later told friends, felt like iron masquerading as velvet. Within hours, the guest list surfaced online. William and Catherine, no surprise, Princess Anne, indomitable as ever, Queen Camilla in her signature diamond brooches, even non-working royals like Zara Tindall got the nod. Hollywood's siren call chimed in too. David Beckham, Kate Winslet, Idris Elba. The one name missing was the one headline writers hunted for. Comment sections exploded. "Where's Harry?" A palace staffer, emboldened by anonymity, leaked a line that settled like frost on Windsor lawns. The king sees no reason to reward betrayal with visibility. Whether you agreed or not, the message was unmistakable. The monarchy wasn't simply moving forward, it was moving on for courtiers. The choice felt overdue. Since stepping back in 2020, Harry had told his story in interviews, docuseries, podcasts, and finally Spare, the memoir whose pages dripped with grievance and raw family secrets. Each reveal drew ratings and drained trust. To the public, it looked like catharsis. To the palace, it looked like a pattern: wound, expose, repeat. The silence descending on Harry's request wasn't impulsive, it was strategy. One aide likened it to medical quarantine for reputations. If the royal brand was a glass chandelier, any rogue spark, another Oprah sit-down, an unplanned audible confession could shatter it. So the doors closed, softly but firmly. Before the next spark arrived, snubbed invitations sting, but they don't bankrupt you. Legal fees can. Months earlier, Britain's Court of Appeal dismissed Harry's bid to retain government-funded police protection. He argued that, without it, visits to the UK were unsafe for his family. Judges replied that private citizens, even royal ones, don't dictate national security budgets. The loss reportedly left Harry facing a 7-figure bill. Security is non-negotiable, he told a friend after the ruling. Visa paperwork and private contractors might plug the gap. Yet the judgment signaled something worse. The institution that once guarded him from cradle to combat no longer stood between him and the paparazzi lens. Across the Atlantic, Meghan watched the drama from a sunlit Montecito office. Her silence wasn't absence, it was arithmetic. Spotify had pulled the plug on archetypes in 2023. Netflix executives, once bullish on Sussex documentaries, were now sending polite, non-committal emails in boardrooms from Burbank to Beverly Hills. The Sussex brand's shine was fading beneath layers of public fatigue. Sources close to Hollywood deals painted a blunt picture. Harry's name no longer promised premium eyeballs, only unpredictable headlines. Meghan, sharper than most at reading a room, pivoted to her own lifestyle line and a whispered memoir proposal. The King's Gala. That was Harry's nostalgia, not her strategy. A veteran PR strategist put it this way: he arrived in LA as royalty, but risks leaving as reality TV. The remark hurt because it rang true. In the early days, the Sussex's Netflix partnership commanded 9-digit figures. Now, producers flinched at the thought of yet another tell-all. What more was left to tell? Without royal access, Harry's unique selling point eroded. He could still champion mental health charities and veterans' causes, but so could dozens of public figures without the baggage. Each time palace protocol clipped another thread: security, patronages, invitations, the brand frayed further. Royal historians pointed back to the Duke of Windsor, the once King Edward VIII, exiled after abdication. He spent decades dining out on memories of a throne he could never reclaim. The comparison isn't perfect. Edward traded crown for marriage. Harry traded rank for autonomy. But the echo is undeniable. A prince outside the palace finds his world shrinking fast. Yet, even Edward clung to ceremonial scraps, military titles, occasional invitations. If whispers inside Buckingham are right, Harry may soon face a harsher cut. Quiet committees are reportedly studying whether dormant royal titles, His Royal Highness, Counselor of State, should be formally revoked. Nothing announced, but the very act of considering it speaks volumes. So where does a once-favored son go when both palace gates and Hollywood studios inch shut? Some advisors urge a total rebrand. Drop the prince. Embrace the Harrison Mountbatten Windsor within. Build environmental startups. Author children's books. Produce veteran-focused docs. No royal drama required. Others argue he should double down, become the globe's foremost monarchy reformer. Campaigning in halls of power from Brussels to Canberra. The trouble: either path requires silence about his family or perpetual confrontation with them. He can't walk both. On the evening of the King's Foundation event, London hummed with chauffeured Jaguars and floodlit gates. Inside the palace, champagne flutes clinked, while a string quartet threaded Vivaldi through the corridors. Cameras captured Charles beside Beckham, both grinning for the press line. The King's message was wordless but stark. This is the future. Everything else is history. Thousands of miles away in California's evening haze, Harry watched the live stream on a tablet. The picture froze now and then to many viewers worldwide, but the impression was clear. Every frame without him was a frame the monarchy survived just fine. Public sympathy is generous, but fickle. Harry's memoir topped bestseller charts, yet 3 news cycles later, polls showed UK favorability at historic lows. Social media hashtags oscillate between hashtag Team Harry and a chilling hashtag No More Harry. The digital crowd has no patience for a sequel if the first act ends in frustration. One veteran royal reporter summed it up on morning radio: Harry still has time, but the time is no longer his. By turning his letter into a plea for re-entry, Harry inadvertently posed a choice to the monarchy, and they answered with finality. The page has turned. His name isn't printed on the next chapter's header. What remains is blank space he must fill without the crown's ink. Will he craft a new story? One that stands without palatial marble as a backdrop, or will he keep knocking on a door that only echoes his own voice back? That answer, like the letter that started it all, can only come from his hand. If you've stayed this far, don't just watch, join the conversation. Drop a comment, hit like, and smash subscribe so you're here for the next royal revelation. The saga isn't over, and the next twist may already be in motion.